Every poker player's dream is to play in the World Series of Poker and compete for one of the most coveted and sought-after prizes, the WSOP bracelet. To win one, not only do you have to get extremely lucky, you also have to be willing to dedicate tens of thousands of dollars. I found a sponsor for my summer, which is great. That means that they pay me money to represent them at the WSOP. Now, if I was smart, I would put all of that money in a savings account and never touch it. But obviously, you would not be watching this video if that is what I did.
Back in Vegas. It's 110 degrees at 10 a.m. My Uber just freaked out on a woman trying to help us in to the apartment complex, calling her the FBI and saying this is what happened to her last time. And she drove over a curb and sped off. That looks really good on me coming into this woman's neighborhood. It's a gated community. Welcome back, I guess. Okay.
We've been in Vegas for a little bit, but we have yet to go to the WSOP, step foot through those beautiful golden doors. I'm excited for it. Today we fire our first WSOP tournament. We're firing the $800 deep stack tournament. We're gonna get in on level 5, I think. So late registering a little bit, but all the super pros late register. You guys know this. I'm excited. I'm a little nervous. I have nearly 100% of myself for all of these tournaments this summer. But you know, who cares? We have a sponsor. We have a sponsor. Shout out Kalshi. I love you, Kalshi. Everything I do is for you, Kalshi. All right, let's get down to Paris, WSOP. We're gonna register. We're gonna win this entire thing. Good luck us. They're not gonna let me film there, which is just so dumb, but I will give you updates on all of the breaks, and obviously I'm gonna record any big hands that end up all in. So, let's go. Get even or get even worse. You know the motto.
We kick off our WSOP journey with the $800 deep stack. And to be honest, I am quite nervous. Not because of the money, but because I haven't played a poker tournament in a very long time. I want to play good poker and I want to be focused, but those things will only get you so far in these massive tournaments. You have to run good and you have to win your all-ins. Unfortunately, this tournament was one of those sessions where you just can't win a hand. We late registered, so we need to turn things around fast. I pick up ace queen suited in our first hand of note in this tournament. We are under the gun and the blinds are 500, 1,000. I raised a 2.5K off of about 33 big blinds. The small blind and the big blind both call. The flop comes 6-3 deuce with 2 hearts, and I don't have a heart. They both check to me, and we should definitely be checking this back. Yeah, there's no excuse. We should be checking this back, but in the moment, I thought that a c-bet would most likely do the job since these players have been playing very loose and passively. They have been calling everything pre-flop and then folding to any bet, and I thought I could just pick up some free chips now. So I bet 3K. The small blind folds, but the big blind puts in the call. The turn is a good one. It's the queen of hearts. I make top pair, but the front door flush does come in. When the big blind checks to us again, I do debate going for a bit of value here and continuing. Obviously, top pair, top kicker is a pretty good hand, but after some deliberation, I do just check this one back. The river is the king of spades, which should be a brick. Our opponent now assembles a bet of 8,000 chips into a pot of about 14.5K. Now, admittedly, I don't think too long about this. I think this player could be overvaluing a hand that we beat, so I think we beat some value. And this guy is a loosey-goosey player. He definitely could be bluffing as well, although I have him pegged, pause, as being a passive-ish player. I have seen him bluff since I've been sitting down. I put in the call, and we're going to lose this one. He has 4-5. He flopped a straight. After this hand, we spend the next 30 minutes not playing a single pot, and eventually we get moved tables with about 14 big blinds, and it folds to me in the cutoff, and I look down at ace-5 of spades. You guys know what's coming. That's right. I'm all in. The button folds, and now it's on the small blind. He has a decision to make. He's all in. He reshoves his 70,000 chip stack in the middle, and I already know it's bad news. He shows me pocket jacks. Obviously, we're going to have to get lucky on this one. Roll the tape.
Ace-5 versus jacks.
The first tournament of the series did not go how we wanted it to, but that's okay. We didn't want to win that one anyway. This next tournament is one of my favorite tournaments in all of the WSOP. The structure is absolutely amazing. It's the $1,500 monster stack. I cannot stress this enough. We need to bag day 2 of this event, not for my confidence, but because there's 4 day ones in this tournament and it's a $1,500 buy-in, the biggest buy-in for me this summer. And if I were to spend 4 bullets, that's a lot of money. So if we bag day 1, we're saving $4,500 in buy-ins.
We are headed in. 1,500 monster stack. Play day. Max late regs at the end of day 1, so I definitely miscalculated when day 2. If I'm gonna make day 2, I could make day 2 if I wanted to. So let's make some poker hands, huh?
A few levels have gone by, and for the most part, since I've sat down, nothing really has happened. We have made top pair a couple times. We've made 2 pair. We flopped a straight. We lost a small all-in with pocket 5s against king 10. But other than that, we're basically left around where we started, which is obviously starting stack. And then this hand happens. We are playing 500 1K, and a new player, Daniel Costner, has just taken a seat. The day before, Daniel got 2nd place in the $800 deep stack that we actually busted just moments ago. He got $234,000. So we're going to keep that in mind as we play this hand with him. In this hand, he raises to 2K from out of the gun. The button calls. I'm in the small blind with 7-8 of diamonds. I put in the call, and the big blind also calls. 4 ways here with 9K in the middle. The flop comes 8, 6, 5 with 2 spades. The action checks to the under the gun player, and he checks. And now the button also checks behind. So we are seeing a free turn card, which is the deuce of clubs. With an open ender and top pair, I think we have a fine candidate to bet, but maybe our hand out of position to 3 players works better as a check. I'm not 100% sure. Either way, I decide to bet. I make it 4K, and the small blind player folds, and now the under the gun aggressive player raises to 13K. I started this hand with about 55K deep, and he has me covered. When the button folds, it's back on us, and I think we have an obvious continue, but it's important to realize this is a good player here, and no matter what the river is, he is probably going to apply maximum pressure, and we need to be prepared for that. The river is a 4, giving us a straight. I check to Daniel, and he now overbet jams for just about 40,000 chips. Ooh, this is a gross one. 2nd tournament of the series so far, and I'm getting put into the absolute blunder. This is what my thought process was in the moment. He's been playing super aggressively all day since he sat down, which has only been about an hour, but regardless, he's been in every pot, firing constantly. If he had a flush draw, even though it's 4 ways, I think he's just going to be betting his flush draws. It sucks to be put in a spot like this where I have to call off for my tournament life, but he's a super pro. He's very, very good, and he's capable of bluffing, and I think if he had clubs on this flop, he would be putting in a C-bet. So I decide, after much deliberation, I put in the call, and he bows his head and says, "Good call. Let's go!" With the confidence of the last hand, we are rolling. We switch tables, and I get a huge squeeze through with ace-10 offsuit against a few super pros. This table's low-key tough. My stack has risen to 130K. Okay, we got something going here, chat. We switch tables once again, and that's when I realize I just got moved tables with my friend.
We are currently at the table of doom here, and then we also have Global Kenny, which is not
Poker Face Ash, who's chip leading the entire tournament, is sitting 2 to my left, and 2 to my right is Global Kenny, one of the best poker players I know. Well, this should be fun. It doesn't take us long to get involved with Kenny here. In fact, it's the first hand that I play. We are at 1K, 2K blinds. I raise Jack 10 of spades in early position to 4K, and only Kenny calls in the big blind. The flop comes 3, 4, 7 with 2 spades. Kenny now leads for 3K. And I think we have a very standard call here. I don't really know if I would ever have any raises in my range. There's a reason that Kenny is donking into us. It's because this board is way better for him than it is for me. Obviously, we have a jack high flush draw, so not going anywhere. I put in the call, and the turn is a very interesting one. It's a jack. I make top pair. I check, and Kenny keeps firing, this time for 14,000 chips into a pot of about 15K. There's no way I'm folding just yet, but I'm definitely feeling quite uncomfortable. Kenny's probably going to unload the clip no matter what on this river, similar to the last big hand that we played. But again, our hand is just too strong. We can beat value, and also we have a flush draw. So I put in the call. The river is a 9. It's not a spade. We don't get there. Like I imagined, Kenny goes all in for 45,000 chips. The problem with playing with really good poker players is they're going to continually put you in torturous spots. And it just makes me realize that I don't put enough people in torturous spots like this. But I know Kenny is capable of bluffing. I know that. I've seen him with some diabolical bluffs before. Is this the best hand that I could have in this moment? Definitely not. Definitely not. I could have overpairs. I could have sets. It's good having spades because he, in theory, should not be bluffing with spades. So for all those reasons, it's Kenny. If I double him up, at least my friend gets my chips. That's a horrible way to think about things. But regardless, I put in the call, and we get the bad news. Kenny flopped 2 pair. He has 7-4 offsuit. Really, Kenny? That's a pretty disrespectful defend, bro.
The first hand, we sit down. He defends a 7-4, flops 2 pair. I go call. And we're down to this. Still very alive.
I don't have any time to lick my wounds or feel bad for myself because just 2 hands later, I look down at pocket 10s in the small blind with 75K in my stack. A player with around 50K raises to 4K and the button player calls. I really only have one move with pocket 10s. I'm all in.
Get that good angle. Nice hand.
We are crippled. Just moments ago, we had 70 big blinds, and now we are down to 10 big blinds. There's only a few orbits left in day 1, and I need to double. Eventually, we fold a couple times, pay a couple blinds, and I'm sitting with 8 bigs. And I look down at ace jack offsuit. I'm all in, and we get called, but this time we're ahead by ace 10 offsuit for our tournament life. Please, dealer. Bang! We have life. We put our chips in the bag. It's exciting, right? We made day 2. It's not that impressive, but we made day 2, and I'm going to hang my hat on that. I feel good about it. Funny enough, I actually had to move a flight back for this day 2, so no way that backfires, right? Anyways, we're on to day 2 now. I grab my coffee and head down to the strip.
We're kind of in a precarious situation because I have a flight at 5:30 and the min cash is gonna be around 4. So if I make it to the min cash, I'm going to miss my flight and I'm gonna have to move it back. Dude, the absolute worst situation would be if I move my flight and then I don't min cash, I'm gonna be so tilted.
My table looks pretty good. A lot of recreational players, in my opinion, drinking beer and showing up late. 2 very good signs. We are coming back to 4K big blind, and we have 72,000 in our stack, which is good for 18.5 bigs. We lose a small one early. I open ace 4 of hearts and the big blind defends. We end up having some showdown value. We check it down, and he has top pair. So we lose that one, but no worries. We still have 14 big blinds, and now I look down at the utterly terrifying ace queen offsuit. With 14 big blinds, there's not much I can do here. I'm all in, dealer. Here we go. Within the first 5 hands of day 2, our tournament life is on the line.
Basically immediately. Played one hand with ace 3 suited that we lost. We rivered a pair and checked it down, and he had second pair.
ace queen under the gun for 13 big blinds, all in 10. Same exact spot as yesterday, except flips, and of course 10s hold. So just awesome, fun, great, and amazing. I love poker. I love playing this game. It's the best. I guess the only positive with busting out of the tournament in 2 hands is I get to make my flight now, which will save me some money, I guess. But honestly, the most tilting part is that I paid for an Uber to Horseshoe and back for no reason. Oh, God, it's so dumb. Oh, when will it end?
The next tournament on our list is the $300 Gladiator. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you. This tournament is a gamble. We're playing an absolute hyper turbo, so there's tons of all-ins that you guys are going to see. I get short on my first bullet. I go all in a few times, but nobody calls. And finally, I'm all in with King 10 of diamonds, and we get called by Ace Queen. Here's the run out.
For 9 days. Good.
Okay, no worries. On to the next bullet, and this is going to go so fast, so keep up with me. The first hand of note, we are all in with Queen 9 of diamonds in a 4-way pot. 2 other players have called our all in. One of them has Jack 6 suited, and the other one has Jack 9, and the board is 9-7-6. So, we're in really good shape. Just like that, we scoop a huge pot, and all of a sudden we have some chips to work with. Very shortly after that, I raise Ace Jack of spades to 4K, and a player goes all in for his 12 big blind stack. We call.
Good luck. King, queen of hearts, ace jack of spades.
Then, shortly after that, a brand new player sits down and goes all in immediately for 15 big blinds. I look down at pocket 10s, we call, everyone else folds, and he has King 9 offsuit.
In a long time. I won't lie to you.
My stack literally in the span of 3 hands just went from 24K to like 106,000. That's good for about 50 big blinds, which in a super turbo like this is heaps. There is absolutely no time to rest in these formats though. Just a few hands later, the under the gun player jams 11 big blinds and I am in the big blind with Ace 10 offsuit. I don't love it, but we do have to call. He has Jack 9 of hearts. Come on, dealer, let's hold.
Yeah. I thought it was gonna be 64.
We take a hit to our stack there, but there's no worries. We have a chance to get it back. It's the literal next hand. It folds to me in the small blind, and I have pocket 3s. Our opponent has 24-ish big blinds now that we just doubled him up, and this is the easiest, most standardist all-in ever. So that's what I do. I rip my pocket 3s in the middle, and he snaps us off. He has Ace 8 of diamonds, which is the correct call by him. We have another race.
Deuce. 3?
Yes.
Yeah, man. God, it's just like, I realize that these are all coin flips, but we're like kind of ahead in some of the scenarios. Like we're 55, 60, 40. You have to be able to win your all-ins in these moments. I'm feeling a bit deflated, but we're not done yet. We still have chips, which means we still have a chance. We cool off a bit, not picking up any hands for a while, which is not good for our stack. In these turbo environments, you need to get hands, especially when you're short. We are now sitting with 6 big blinds and 26,000 chips. At 4K big blind, the under the gun player raises to 8,000, and I am next to act. I have King 6 of diamonds. I'm gonna get hit by the blind soon and be absolutely crippled. This is our best chance. I go all in It folds back to him, and he doesn't love it, which is good for us. But he puts in the call. He has queen 10 of clubs. Once again, we're technically in the lead. Can we hold?
And I'm ahead.
So I know you're ahead. Thanks for
Not like that. Not like that. Queen 10, King 6 of diamonds. One of my favorite hands.
Make it sweaty. Let's see a random
This
jack.
is ridiculous.
Oh, it's black.
Nice hand, GG.
Nope. No, we can't. No, we cannot hold. Feeling deflated with there only being so many tournaments left in the summer, I really want to get a deep run going, but for that to happen, we simply have to win our all-ins. If we can't win those, we're never going to build up enough of a stack to make it very far. I feel like up until this point, I've been playing decent poker. I'm checking the spots, I'm doing the right things, not making any huge mistakes, but when the moment comes where I need it the most, the poker gods aren't choosing me. The Mini Main is a tournament that I low-key hate, and let me tell you why. Last year, I stood in a 4.5 hour long line just to play this singular tournament. And you want to know what happened? I sat down, and the first hand, I'm not exaggerating, the first hand, I looked down at pocket aces. I raise, the button player goes all in, I call, he has queens, queen in the window. I waited 4.5 hours to play one hand. And I haven't forgot about that, the mini main. So let's hope that doesn't happen again. We're a few orbits in, and while I have chipped up about 10,000 chips, we actually haven't played any significant pots. I've just raised and then c-bet and taken the pots down. So we're up to about 60,000 in chips, but yeah, nothing interesting has happened until this hand. We're just above starting stack when I look down at black pocket kings from under the gun +1. The blinds are 1K, 2K, so I raised to 5,000 off of 30 big blinds, and the button and the small blind both put in the call. The flop comes 7-8-3 with 2 spades. The small blind checks to me, and I like, you know, implementing some checks in spots like this, but not with pocket kings. I bet 10K into a pot of about 19K. The button folds, but now the small blind check raises to 25,000. I'm in danger. No, really though, if I were to call, I would only have about 25,000 chips behind, which would make for a really weird turn sizing thing. So the small size is definitely scary to me. But what the hell do you want me to do? I have pocket kings. He can still have flush draws, a pair and a flush, straight draws. Also, I think he would squeeze pocket 7s and pocket 8s, at least at some frequency off of 30 big blinds from the small blind. So I guess we're basically praying he doesn't have 7-8 or pocket 3s and he just has a big draw. So I ship it all in and he immediately doesn't snap call. And in fact, he kind of goes like this. And I'm like, oh, nice. We're actually ahead and he has a hand with a lot of equity that he doesn't want to fold. So he calls. And no, he has pocket 3s. Bro, you have a set. Just put the chips in the middle. Why are you Hollywooding like Phil Hellmuth? You have bottom set. Anyway, here's the video. I honestly never liked this tournament, and I'm glad I busted, and I'm happy that Martin Cabral won. I hope everybody who played with him was miserable, and somehow everybody that got any of my chips distributed to them just had a horrible time listening to him talk. I am down about $4,000 in busted WSOP buy-ins, but that's no worries. The luckiest tournament in all of the series is coming up, the Lucky Sevens. With that being said, let me tell you how my first bullet went. Yes, my first bullet. Insinuating that there is a second bullet. Yeah, correct. We were playing well and chipping up. And then I punted, I think. I don't know. Listen to me talk about the hand and watch the run out, and you can decide.
All right, bullet 1, we are out. We had king, queen of clubs, under the gun open, 6-handed, at 400, 800, and king, queen suited is actually just a call. Already playing this hand poorly. I 3-bet. He makes it 1,800. I make it 5,000. He calls. So we're in position here with king, queen of clubs. The flop comes pretty good for our hand. Jack, 10, 3. 2 spades, 1 club. So we have an open ender and we have a backdoor club draw. I bet, he checks, I bet. half pot 5K. That is the correct sizing as played. He puts in the check raise to 13,000. So not a huge check raise at all. Obviously, I'm not going anywhere. We have open ender to the nuts, backdoor clubs, could have 2 live cards. So I put in the call, and the turn is the 8 of clubs. Our opponent does not slow down. He bets 20K. This is super awkward because I have like 47K left. So if I call, I'll only have 27,000 behind in a pot of like 65, 70K. There's no fold equity. Like, he's never folding any of his strong hands. But on the other hand, like, I think he could have a hand like 8-9 that makes a pair and is bluffing, or like ace-5 of spades, or I don't know. I really don't know. I think we do have a little bit of fold equity, but not against any of his like made strong hands. But I think he does have some bluffs that would be nice to just deny equity from and take it down now. I don't know what to do. I think folding's out of the question, but calling feels really weird. So I just go all in for 27,000 more. He does not take long at all. He calls. Obviously, once you see his hand, it makes sense. He has Jack 10 offsuit.
Queen versus Jack 10 club.
Super. Jack 10.
GG's, guys.
I'm pretty tilted at this point, I'm not gonna lie, because the first bullet was going well, and then I literally lit my chips on fire. Honestly, I don't think I should have sat down and played the second bullet. I'm glad I did though, because from the second we sit down, we're on fire. In the first hand that I play, I defend my big blind with 3-5 of diamonds to a cutoff open of 2,200. This is a Euro reg, clearly a very good player. The flop comes Jack 9-4 with 1 diamond. I check, and he now bets 1,000, which is 1 big blind. Tiny. I am quite puzzled by this. I really don't get it, but I have some back doors, so I flick in the 1K, and the turn is a miracle card. If you were thinking of a turd card, it's that one. The 5 of diamonds. So we have an open-ended straight flush draw. I check, and he now sizes up to a pot size bet of 7K. I just call. The river is the 4 of diamonds. We backdoor a flush. I check one more time, and he fires for 14K. Not as big as I was hoping, but I have about 45,000 left in my stack, and dealer, I'm all in, baby. This dude, not gonna lie, literally tanks for like 4 minutes, and then he finally decides on a fold. That's okay though, he probably just folded an overpair, but we'll take it. It's a great start to our second bullet. A few orbits later, I defend my big blind with Jack 8 of clubs. I call a c-bet on Queen 8-7. It goes check check on the turn, and on the river, I boat up. The board is Queen 8-7-8, and now it's on me. I have a decision to make. I could go small, or I could go massive, and that's what I choose to do. I overbet 15K into a pot of about 8,000. My opponent thinks, and he thinks, and he puts in the call. Let's go. Building some momentum here, I open Jack 9 of diamonds from middle position to 2,500. The small blind and big blind player both call. The board comes 9 deuce deuce. I c-bet, and the big blind calls. The turn is a deuce. I bet again. The big blind calls. And the river's a 7. And once again, I bet. And the big blind calls, and we're good. Just like that, we have over 100,000 in chips, and we are absolutely cruising on this second bullet. This tournament cashes only an hour after dinner break, and that's only 2 levels away. I just need to keep my head straight, play some good poker, and keep chipping up. But then the floor comes over and lets us know that we have to put our chips in a bag and move to a different room. Seriously? That means that I have to go play in a completely different area at a different table with different players, and then my absolute worst nightmare happens. I've paid the blinds a few times and we've chipped down to 85,000 in chips. I defend my big blind with King 5 of hearts to an 8K open from the cutoff, and the flop comes King 8-6 rainbow. I check, our opponent bets 5K, and I don't think there's anything to do here besides put in the call, so that's what I do. I call, and the turn is a bad one. It's an ace. I check once again, and now our opponent bets small. Again, 10K. I think about it for a moment, but I think it's a bit too early to just go folding what was top pair on the flop and now second pair on the turn, especially to the small sizing, so I put in the call. The river is another 6. I check one last time, praying to see our opponent check back, and that does not happen. Our opponent bets small again. Tiny. He bets 15K. It's like he's begging me to call. And clearly I'm not getting the memo. I put in the call, and he has ace-8 offsuit, and our stack is decimated. At this point in the tournament, we are literally only an hour and a half away from getting into the money, and I have no chips, and I am getting no cards. This is the worst possible time in a poker tournament to go card dead. We keep paying the blinds, the levels keep going up, and I am feeling the pressure. Hand after hand, orbit after orbit, I am picking up nothing, not even a suited king. My stack is dwindling so low that even if I double up, I'm not gonna feel good about it. But finally, with 21,000 chips in front of me, good for about 7 big blinds, I look down at a hand that I can go all in with.
I also played in a smaller room.
Ace is bad.
Obviously much different.
Oh, what in the world? All right, you know what? I can't take a chop. I'll take a deuce. It's ace 3 versus ace 2. The poker gods deserve. Oh, no.
Oh boy. Well, there goes $5,300. A lot of people would say that this summer was an epic failure. I didn't cash a poker session. I didn't have a deep run in a poker tournament. And yeah, if you look at it on paper, I would agree. This summer was a failure. But in reality, I think it was the exact opposite of that. If you told the 13-year-old me that this is what I was doing for a living, I was a YouTuber who was making stupid jokes on the internet and travels the country playing poker, he would not believe you. Because that was his dream oh so many years ago. Well, not necessarily the poker part, but you get what I'm saying. I've created videos on the internet since I was a literal child, and they were never successful until I found poker. So sure, I could be all sad and woe is me that I didn't have an amazing WSOP this year, or I could be extremely grateful that I get to wake up every day and do this. I think I'm gonna choose the latter. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.